Alright. You know that I record everything, but I speak out publicly because nobody else. Now, one thing most males whenever you have to be afraid to even go outside if you're not living. As we all know, Natalie and Bollinger ended up getting a 9mm to her head. Michael Lopez, the man who did it, is serving 48 years sentence. He will probably serving about 28 years of that before he murdered. One thing with Joseph Michael Lopez, actually shot Natalie. He got one up and I did. I was stalked for over a year before Natalie got me. Nobody cared. I was told I needed to man up because the police told me they work to do. I called lawyers, so little. I was told, all right, document it. It didn't matter what I documented. That's one of the things that's very acceptable. So calling to question your mental abilities, try to insinuate that you're crazy, you're delusional, or basically anything they can do to discredit you. Now, when it comes to a woman, that's a lot different from a man. If a man's going to the cops, now we shoved down our throats about what a real man is and what it is. And it all depends on it is. Some people think that it's a man's job to take care of everybody. Some people think it's a man's job just to take care of himself. I think it's a man's job to protect the country or protect civilians, women or children. Some of these things we see on Facebook and YouTube, they show officials. Many people think that, well, men should do this, men should do that, men should provide this, provide that. We get to hear it a lot about the women's side. How about the victim side? How about we don't choose victims based on gender? We choose who's worth listening to based on gender. Between a male stalker and a female stalker is that a female stalker will get her friends involved. Will get them all up in a frenzy about how terrible and scary a person you are. Put your foot down and said enough is enough. But if you set boundaries, I'm not your punching bag, I'm not your carpet, I'm not your door. Now, we get to see, and I can see this almost male victims the male goes to the police. Women are 11 times getting stalkers than men, but men are between 6 and 26 likely to be arrested for gigs. And we live a lot, my wife knows. They like to pretend that certain types don't exist. Because, of course, sugar and spice and everything nice, right? Now we get to see that there's about a 70% increase of women that we've been woke to the fact that women are sexual predators as well. 70% increase in the reporting of female predators. When it comes to teachers, female teachers are a lot more likely to same as men. We also get to see on YouTube and TikTok these things that we're spice and really nice habits. Now we got the ability to record her ourselves. Sure, how many of y'all old enough to remember the 1980s? In the 1980s, had money for a recording device. It was this big, this big, this big. And it cost between $900 and $2,000. It was huge. Well, no fun whatsoever. Now we have clandestine recording device that can record anything at any point in time. So I'm either internet access, so I can record it live to YouTube, or of course space for memory on my telephone. When it comes to somebody who approaches me and says that somebody's a stalker, I ask for proof. I've got too many of my friends that are sitting behind bars because they were beaten up by a woman, stalked by a woman and her friends, because some crazy woman decided that it was their bunch of people all up in her and all up in her friends because she's afraid. What are they most afraid of in this situation? Being exposed. Growing up with Tourette syndrome my whole life, I know a lot of women who, and later on in life, they develop tics, and those are commonly associated with Tourette syndrome, but also with autism. There's a difference. There's a difference between long-term drug use and being born with neurological difference. Now, I have no primarily, many of you have also noticed, the women who tend to play victim are blonde blue eyed white girls. But what we need to steer away from claiming that all blonde blue eyed white girls are like that, or that only blonde haired girls can be like that. Because the fact is, there are men who are like that. Who are like that. It's not the way that you look necessarily. Now, of course, your looks are going to have a lot of bearing on your life. There's a lot of people that I know that they don't realize how much free stuff they get from the good look. And then later on, they admit it. Why is it that I'm saying they instead of being specific? Because obviously, just I have very specific people in mind when I think of these things. Very situations that I think of. But also, as I say often, and to every video, no victim left behind. Whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're an adult or a child, doesn't make a difference. If you were victimized, if you were wrong, you were wrong. Speaking of about this stuff, men are not real. The conversations that were going on, I felt it was okay for me to talk about it. We've got a lot of people who really are genuinely scary. But are we choosing scary based on looks? Are we finding out the whole story, or are we judging what the cover? Are you assuming every single part of the Twitch is on drugs? I have Tourette syndrome. I don't pretend every part of the Twitch has Tourette syndrome. I don't pretend that every person is autistic. Here's the thing about stimming. It's not an autistic trait. Well, none of you guys see. Stimming is something that people do when they're nervous or they're helps to calm them down. A lot of times, in the 1980s, they used to have these little squeeze balls on the desk, and if you went in to see a way they were called stress balls. And when you go in and you sit, with it. It's kind of like the precursor fidget spinner. Basically just a sponge. Sometimes the shape of the brain, sometimes the shape of the basketball. There's also, little, the little nail puzzles where you got to try to pick apart or depending on where I was at, some places you weren't allowed to have nail objects. But the thing is, through my entire life, I've been victimized because I'm different. Victimized because of my looks, because of my gender. I've been blown off. Now, a man is being stalked and actually assaulted and actually threatened. No help. All you gotta do is pretend that you might do something, and of course, this is against the law. If you might do something, then it's okay for you to destroy his life. And that's what we have taught here in the United States. We have taught this new crap for far too long. This Me Too stuff is man-made. That's what it is, plain and simple. We come to realize that there are a lot of women because of and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and all this stuff. There's a lot of women who have been recorded who have gone out of their way to deface a man as much as possible for that man to wisen up and start recording it. Like that young man who was, let me see if I can find a link for that. That's a really good one, and I'm going to post it here. You can see it. I don't actually want people to take my word for anything. I want them to get the education for themselves instead of just believing whatever they're told.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is like
Oh, first I suppose I should the woman named Amanda Daniels, and she was ended up being a pedophile and was trying to get a 9-year-old girl to do inappropriate things with him. Nasty place. Here it is. Now the guy's just kind of a POS. Looking bright side, at least he exposed. There's Lincoln.
And he shows me every time he's like really good at like maneuvering around it. But I actually
One thing about here's one from Scott's Bluff. I know this guy. This is interrupted. Former teacher who taught at Layton Public School. It's Dana Jepson. Arrested. It's actually common for women to do these things than it is for men. Also, women are more often involved in physical portions of relationships.
anyway, so he was already pissed. So now he was
So it's the situation with Brenda and Dawn.
right. So I walk in and he's already. What is happening? What is happening first day?
I'm actually not sure to find the one with Brenda because I know she was arrested in Sheffield because she was turned in by Jack and Kennedy. And the problem is, a man can literally go to prison for false accusations. A lot of times, a woman who is predatory would just go slander a man's name. There's a fight or flight, of course, we know, right? There's also fawn, but it's not that much different. When a man is trying to get help, for him to get someone to sit down and listen and actually help is impossible. I came to a YouTube channel because unlike most of the women I know, I don't have anyone I can talk to in person that's actually going to help. Nobody cares. For the women that I know, if they go and ask somebody for help, and I know this because I was the guy that asked for help for a lot of years. Sean, will you go in with me? Yeah, of course I will. Sean, will you help me move? Yes, of course I will.
But like, you just can't.
But then there's people who are actually creepy stalkers, and why do women in those situations go back into these routines? You need a rescue, I help you get out of that situation, then you go right back to it, and it results in me being abused. I know so many men who are abused every day because they stuck up for a woman that they thought was a victim. Now, was she crying wolf or not? It doesn't matter at that point. What matters is the wrong person is taking the abuse from her. Either she cried wolf or that guy beat on her. In either event, if she cried wolf, it's not okay to take it out on the guy who helped her out. If that guy beat on her, there's no reason for the guy who helped her out to be taken abuse for that. In both of those scenarios, it's the good guy who takes the abuse when she goes back. Like, of course, I know a lot of women who, after breaking up with their boyfriend, got on Facebook, got on YouTube to rail against him and talk about how horrible he is. Say he's into little boys and things like that. And then 2 weeks later, they're screaming and hooting and hollering on Facebook because they want him back and he won't talk to them. Well, why is he gonna? Why would he want to after he said things like that about him? Well, you tried to infer that he wanted children of the same gender. You're trying to make him out to be the most horrible person that you can possibly make him out to be. And playing and preying on bias that you know to exist. There are a lot of female predators, and the reason that there are so many female predators is because we have trained our society as a society to look away from female predators or to assist them. We're expected to drop everything at every point in time if a woman has to spread. That is what our bio teaches us here. That's not what the law teaches. And a lot of people, they want to bounce back and forth between what the law says and what morality says and what the Bible says. Well, here's morality. That's a good question. Got to see all this. And I was stalked by Molly. And I was stalked by that dude in the RV. And I was stalked by that, what's his name, Robert Farnsworth. And how many people did he threaten to assault just here on my YouTube channel? 3, 4. How many other people have we recorded speaking about Mr. Farnsworth? At least 3 or 4 more just speaking about what he has done and the fact that he does it repeatedly. And we're expected to look away. Between the two, though, Molly is more scary because between the two, Mr. Farnsworth really is out there mentally. Whereas Molly has been taught to play bias, to play victim when she does something wrong. Who beat on my vehicle? That was Molly. Who was breaking glass and slamming things against my vehicle? That was Molly. Who was it who was screaming at me, making accusations every time she didn't get what she wanted? That was Molly. I've had a lot of people say we should just get rid of men. I'm actually fine with that. Here's what I think. I think we should separate the country into the East and the West. We will let women have first dibs. Do you want the East Coast or the West Coast? We'll see who's got a better country after 10 years. Now, it's not a matter of women cannot take care of themselves. It's not a matter of women are incapable of doing anything that they're capable of. There are a lot of small men that can get beaten up by just about every girl out there. There are a lot of big women out there with a lot of experience trapping who whoop the crap out of most of the guys that I know. It's not a matter of how intelligent they are. It's not a matter of being good at the game. It's a matter of what we've been training people. If we had a whole bunch of women over on the East Coast, let's say we let women have the East Coast and men took the West Coast, men would have an advantage because of training. We have taught a lot of women to basically write off other people, but we have also taught them to depend highly upon men and to pretend that they're not dependent. And unfortunately, we teach everybody in the United States this now. We also like to push the whole "I did it all by myself" thing. No, nobody does it by themselves. There's over 100 people involved in the process of just you getting the wheat that is required for the bread that you bought from the store. Over 100 people involved in that process easily. We don't live on a planet of one. And no victim should be decided upon based on their looks or their gender, nor their age, nor their skin color. If you've got 2 victims of police brutality, one of them's black and one of them's white, the 2 victims shouldn't be at each other's throats saying, "Oh, well, I'm more victimized than you are." No, those 2 should both be working together to get that predator off the police force. Same thing goes for rapists and child molesters and, of course, dangerous stalkers. But there's a difference between asking somebody to stop and actually stalking them, and that's where men get the short end of the stick. You can't tell a woman to stop. You can't ask her to stop. You can't go to the police. You cannot do anything to stop a woman from stalking you without being retaliated against by her and all of her friends. It is not possible at this point unless she's 300 pounds, 65 years of age, and has no friends. We also have people that want to pretend that looks don't matter after typing a whole bunch of stuff showing the looks are exactly what matters. I mean, gender has a lot to play in it. We also get to look at whether or not it's a Hollywood heartthrob or whether or not it's somebody else. Bill Cosby, comedian, right? With all his legal issues. We got a lot of comedians going through a bunch of them issues. Of course, if they're known for having a pretty face, known for being on Hollywood, Will Smith, there's a good one right there. Jason Momoa. How about Johnny Depp? Then the roles were reversed. We allowed Johnny Depp to, as we call it, play the role of a woman. Which, why are we doing that? Why are we teaching that? Why are we teaching that it's a woman's role or a man's role? If you can't change a tire, you shouldn't be driving a car. You should have never been given a driver's license. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I don't believe that changing a tire is a gender role. I believe it's a survival skill, kind of like cooking. Cooking is not a gender role, it's a survival skill. If you can't cook, you're probably going to get salmonella. You're going to get yourself infected with protozoans and radiolarians and basidiomycetes, all sorts of other nastiness you don't want to ingest. Now, of course, properly sterilized. There's a lot of women that I know that are in their mid-30s, some of them even mid-40s. They still get so much support from their parents. And we're talking about people that are end of their lives, taking care of offspring that are getting close to the end of their lives. And although I know a few men who are in that situation, they are far more independent. Now, we talk about feminism. I am for feminism. Feminism is supposed to be about equality, isn't it? Raising women to be equal to men. Well, it's not balanced that way. We've got the sugar and spice and everything nice mentality stuck on every man in marriage. You're supposed to assume that a woman is telling the truth. Now here's the problem with being a male victim. Nobody wants to hear you. You got to hear about Dallas when he was getting physically assaulted by Harley. He didn't want to call it in. And why didn't he want to call it in? Because he didn't want to get arrested. He knew the tune. That's in Boulder, Colorado, or in Chapel, Nebraska. If that's the tune in Chapel, Nebraska, which is KKK territory, then even here in woke Oregon, yeah, you're still going to have to deal with that. Even worse. We got such heavy gender bias here. I mean, so heavy, just like in Chapel. If you're a man, you're expected to man up and take care of it yourself, and no man should need help, and a man should this, and a man should that. I can't even take care of myself anymore. I don't understand why you're going to put so much onto me just for being born with different parts. That'd be like expecting me to go work the mines at Berg Crystal or Goose 2 just because my eyes are brown. It don't make no sense. We've got to see such an increase in finding out that many of these women have been playing the sugar and spice and everything nice thing for years. But then when they get on their Facebooks and their Twitters, we can see how many of these women actually are highly predatory. Also, people tend to take pictures of what it is they care about the most. How many of the women that you know take 5 or more selfies a day and post them on the internet? How many of you know women who post more than 20 selfies a day? I've got at least 24 women that I've typed to or have typed to me in the past month or so that, yeah, selfie after selfie after selfie after selfie after selfie after selfie after selfie. I'm going, where is the substance to this person? These women reach out to me and say they want to be my friend, and then they ignore me for months on end. That's not friendly. But you trying to beat out one of your friends on having more friends than them on your friends list? No. Don't do that. You get to see how important this popularity contest is. You get to see how, of course, many of those selfies, they come along with the likes. Alicia Bollinger was real heavy on that, and so is Natalie. There's a competition. You know, I get maybe 15 likes on one of my pictures in the course of the year. 15 of them. That's not a whole heck of a lot, but it's a lot for me. Natalie will get 400 on something she just posted today. Well, she can't post today because she's got her head going on, but she will. Now her sister would get 11 or 1,200 of them she posted up. Natalie and Alicia are twins. There's a difference. Well, Natalie gave up everything for her sister. I gave up everything for my family. I gave up everything for my friends. I gave up everything for a lot of your family. And how true is that? Giving it up and having it taken away are not the same thing. When people take away your right to feed yourself, your ability to feed yourself, your ability to take care of yourself, your ability to defend yourself, and then they want to treat you like you're the bad guy, man, you got some far bigger issues in the world than that. We got too many people who are playing on the oh, poor me, cry me a river thing. We've got too many blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girls that are getting away with literally murder and playing victim to get away with it. When we write laws in, those laws need to apply equally to everybody. If women are not held equally responsible, but the law says that they're to be held equally responsible, why is there such a disparity in difference there? Why is it that a man who is being physically assaulted has to be afraid of being arrested for turning down? Men aren't allowed to speak. When we go to our friends, let me tell you something. When I go to my friends, they want to talk over me, over and over. That's why I have a YouTube channel. Almost everywhere I go, I get to hear women talking about their experiences, and I try to mind my business. Talking about their experience in public places where I'm not allowed. I have to worry about getting in trouble. I have to worry about being told that I need to leave. Being told that people are uncomfortable with the subject matter or that it's inappropriate. Now, I've, in the last 3 days, been to 3 different places where women have had conversations that were deemed inappropriate for me to speak those things in exactly those places. But they got away with it, some of them for hours on end. Also, the people they're talking to are engaging in a far different way, at a far different level than when they talk to me. People are far more likely to listen to a woman and to sit and listen and to make the time now, not 6 weeks from now, not 6 months from now, not 6 years from now. Natalie Bollinger isn't the only person who ended up dead because nobody wanted to listen to something with male genitalia. Benjamin Harvey is dead. Christine Buhey's dead. Anna Hunka is dead. Janine Barrett is dead. Rory Jepson is dead. There's a lot more dead people than just that, too. A lot of dead people. Tibor Hatay is dead. You should have listened to me. Demetria Shankling is dead. You should have listened to me. Elijah McLean is dead. You should have listened to me. Natalie Bollinger is dead. You should have listened to me. Benjamin Harvey is dead. You should have listened to me. It's not that I didn't speak up. Matter of fact, I spoke up everywhere. I spoke up on my YouTube. I spoke up on Facebook. I spoke up in real life. I spoke up everywhere that I could. We need to do more to actually protect the victims instead of doing this billing acceptability that leaves the most victimized people in America naked, without protection. Right now, homeless males are number one on every list for victimization. We've also got the system with kids. When it comes to at-risk adults and at-risk kids, those are apples to oranges. It's a different world. Being a child in the system is a lot like being an at-risk adult. You have no rights, and they promised you that when you turn 18, you'll have some rights. And when you turn 18, you throw you out on the streets. Oh, you're 18. We don't have anything else to do with you. They tell you there are services that'll help, but they don't help you with those services, and you apply, and you apply, and you apply, and all these places play stupid. Then they tell you that because you're a single white male under the age of 25 with no dependents, that you're not actually eligible for any of those programs, which is why over 80% of the people who go through those programs are women. In Boulder, Colorado alone, there are 15 services just for women for every one co-ed service. Here in this area, we've got a men-only shelter. And I looked into this men-only shelter. There were some women complaining about it. Why do we have a men-only shelter but not a women shelter? Well, here's the thing. It's not a men-only shelter. It's transitional housing for felons. That's not the same. And yeah, they're going to keep you separated after you get out of prison. They're going to want to put you in a halfway house where you're not around people of the opposite persuasion. Too many things can happen that are entirely wrong, and a lot of those places are run by city or local governments and or local police departments. So yeah, they're going to make sure that they guarantee nothing like that is going to happen, at least between male felons and female felons. And between officers and female felons, that's a different story. It's just like officers with a woman who's called mentally ill. Spokane, Washington, a police officer was recently arrested for raping a woman who was, well, it was a courtesy call. We've got another one in Adams County, Colorado, where Natalie Bollinger was shot in the head. Only a few months after that, what happened? Adams County had one of their officers arrested for what? Raping a woman who was called mentally ill. During one of the courtesy rights, they pretend that they can't give a male. Oh, we can't do that, we can't do that, we can't do that. Well, he was all for doing it for a female woman. And that's what we got out of it. Just like many of these female teachers, these predators choose their position based on who they're going to have power over. Who is more likely to be heard? The teacher or the student? Are you, as a parent, more likely to listen to the student or more likely to listen to the teacher? Is it a matter of credibility? No. Before you can destroy a man like this, you have to destroy his name, which is why the number one tactic for female predators is to run and slander your name to everyone you know. That's popular and frequent and prevalent, and it happens everywhere in the country. This isn't a matter of women being inherently evil or men being inherently evil. It's that we are taught that for one gender these things are okay, and for the other gender they are not. We have taught women that it is okay to blame everything on men. No matter what happens, it's all the man's fault. And if he says anything otherwise, then he's a narcissist. He's toxic. No. See, that's one of the things about living in the United States of America. Any of y'all who raise your daughters to be princesses, you should ship them out of the United States because we don't have no royalty here home. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.